So I was talking to a friend in the car while we were at work one time, and we were discussing One Piece, and we were talking about characters, and I brought up that I do like Foxy, and he looked at me crazy. He was like, "Wait, what? Why would you like him? He's trash." And I have some good reasons for why I like him. Now, first of all, I do admit that the Long Island arc was pretty well, almost pointless. I mean, there were some good things that came out of it. However, I do think that Foxy is a great and funny antagonist. He's a great comic relief. And I know nothing can really live up to what happened in Alabasta and One Piece or the East Blue arc or even Skypiea. Personally, I personally I found Skypiea to be my least favorite arc in the whole One Piece series, mainly because the villains in the Skypiea arc just weren't that memorable, especially the other side characters. So when I got to the Foxy arc, or whatever arc is called, I just found it to be so much more funny. Now, I'm speaking from the manga. And the anime, yeah, they definitely did add in more filler and milk that arc for whatever it can be milked for. And Foxy did become a reoccurring character, but in the manga, the arc is a lot more shorter, and it's a lot more funny and fast paced, in my opinion. Like in the anime, there are like multiple games. In the manga, there's only three games. And so here are some things I gotta give Foxy credit for. First of all, he almost beat Luffy. Like by the time Luffy got done fighting Foxy, Luffy almost lost from exhaustion. Plus, he was all bloody and whatnot. And this is coming from Luffy, who recently beat uh, Crocodile, who had a bounty of 80 million, could turn into sand, and could drain out the water from someone. This is where Luffy beat Enil, or Enil, sorry for mispronouncing his name, but you know, the lightning guy who knew hockey. And this was also when Luffy conquered the East Blue and beat, you know, Arlong and some of the other strongest East Blue pirates. So for someone like Foxy to give Luffy a hard time is pretty impressive because Foxy's bounty is way lower than Luffy's bounty, which was 100 million at the time. Foxy really did teach the viewers and the audience that the power scaling in One Piece isn't like Dragon Ball Z at all. I mean, in Dragon Ball Z, each saga you get like a new strong bad guy who's stronger than the previous one. One Piece is a bag of chocolates. Sometimes the villain's going to be super OP, and other times the villain is going to be less OP. And so the main thing I liked about Foxy is that not only did he really challenge the Straw Hats despite his small bounty, his the guy is a successful pirate. I mean, look at his crew. His crew is a mixture of pirates from other crews, plus a freaking giant and two big superhuman monkey looking men. That's impressive. Another thing about Foxy that I like is that he is really funny, great comic relief. And his devil power, despite it being pretty quote unquote lame according to other people, it's actually helpful in battle. I mean, he can slow down a person for 30 seconds and do whatever he wants to them for the next 30 seconds. That's impressive. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. I like Foxy. He's funny. And the fact that he did almost beat Luffy is really impressive.